New types of paint are helping self-driving vehicles see better. Reflective paints are helping to fight heat waves by rejecting the sun's rays. And some paints are even taking harmful chemicals out of the air we breathe. Paint is going through a technological renaissance, and believe it or not, it's making the world a better place. A new kind of paint is solving a problem you probably never heard of, but it's a big issue affecting one of the in-progress advancements that's going to change our world: self-driving vehicles. But smart cars aren't quite as smart as they need to be yet, especially when they drive in dark conditions. We can all relate to that. Driving at night can be terrifying for new drivers, but after a few nerve-wracking trips, it gets easier. For self-driving cars, though, no amount of practice can fix one glaring issue. LiDAR sensors, the mechanical eyes of self-driving cars, struggle to see black cars. And when I say struggle, I mean really struggle. LiDAR sensors send out pulses of near-infrared light that bounce off objects and return to the sensor, mapping out the world around the car. But in some tests, a black car reflected back just 6% of the near-infrared light that a white car did, making it nearly invisible to these robotic chauffeurs. One solution has been to pile on additional sensors or software to help the car make sense of these invisible objects. But even that's not foolproof. So scientists have come up with a genius idea: fix the paint. They're developing a super reflective black paint that bounces back enough light to be detected by the current LiDAR systems. So now your sleek black car can stay stylish and be visible to self-driving cars. In short, thanks to science, black cars may finally stop playing hide and seek with self-driving vehicles, making the roads a lot safer for everyone. And here are the coolest paints of all. Literally. I'm talking about paints that are so white they can actually cool down surfaces. These paints are highly reflective, meaning they bounce sunlight away rather than absorbing it. This is huge because most traditional roofs are like sponges for heat, turning your home into a giant oven in the summer. Then you crank up the AC, your electric bill skyrockets, and your carbon footprint is basically the size of a small country. In 2020, scientists at Purdue University created an innovative super white paint that reflects 95.5% of sunlight. But that wasn't good enough for them, so they went back into the lab and devised an even whiter paint with a new formula that has increased sunlight reflection to 98.1%. It's so reflective it has its own spot in the Guinness Book of World Records. A surface painted with Purdue's ultra-white paint can be 8 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than the ambient air temperature at midday. At night, the effect is even greater, with a max difference of up to 19 degrees. With this paint on a building's roof, sunlight bounces off of it like it's a trampoline, and the building stays cooler. That means less energy used to cool buildings in hot summers, which means less strain on the power grid. The next thing you know, we're tackling climate change one reflective roof at a time. Some cities have even started implementing cool roof initiatives. So something as simple as paint could potentially help us save the planet by using less energy. But even if that happens, and hell, stranger things have happened, we still have to account for the biggest threat to every living thing on this planet: air pollution. Whenever a discussion turns to air pollution, that diva, carbon dioxide, tends to hog all the attention. But there are many more mischievous molecules within the smog we generate every day. The biggest concerns are nitrous oxide, sulfur oxide, and what's called fine particulate matter, specifically the kind that is 2.5 microns or less in diameter. These nasty pollutants can lead to serious health problems. In highly polluted areas like India, a Harvard University study showed that in 2018, fossil fuel pollution was responsible for the deaths of nearly 2.5 million people over the age of 14. That represents over 30% of total deaths in India among people in that age range. In short, the problem isn't just about climate change. And in the meantime, people are breathing toxic air that will kill them. So we need intermediate solutions for heavily populated areas. Oddly enough, one solution might be paint. An Italian company called Airlight is leading the charge for environmentally active paints. Founded in 2013, Airlight has focused on developing paints that help purify the air both indoors and outdoors. Airlight makes use of chemical interactions called photocatalytic reactions. That essentially means that when light hits this special paint, it creates a reaction that destabilizes harmful pollutants and even kills viruses. In 2019, a case study showed just how effective Airlight can be. The experiment was simple. Paint a London classroom with Airlight and compare it to a similar classroom without the paint. The testing team took over 85,000 air quality readings over a period of 1 month. The results were impressive. For the classroom painted with Airlight, concentration of nitrogen dioxide, a particularly nasty pollutant, was 96% less than in the standard classroom. And the paint reduced those pollutant levels very quickly, up to 88.8% reduction after just 60 minutes. But Airlight isn't quite perfect. A scientific study published in 2017 concluded that although these paints effectively decompose some pollutants, they unfortunately generate and release different toxic compounds. But Airlight continues to score major partnerships with companies like Volkswagen that are using Airlight paint for their ads painted on buildings. So maybe the Airlight scientists figured out how to make their paint safer. I certainly hope they have, because this is an innovation with a lot of promise. Like a cutting-edge indie music band, Airlight is slowly becoming popular in Europe, and some of that popularity is due to art. Airlight runs an international art project called Air is Art, which pairs street artists with Airlight paint to make public murals that beautify the neighborhood and reduce air pollution in the area. One of the largest of these murals is in Rome, and it's called Hunting Pollution by artist Aena Cruz. The mural covers an area of 1,000 square meters, and Airlight says it absorbs as much pollution as a grove of 30 trees. This has obvious implications for how cities might use paint on buildings, roads, and infrastructure, but it also makes the case for more urban art. In the near future, we could see paints like this in the hands of artists all over the world who enhance their communities with visual, cultural, and environmental benefits. And that's something to be hopeful about.